There may be something really good coming out of the federal system for people who want their gun rights back here in America. And today I'm going to be talking about the proposed rule by the DOJ 925C. You may have heard about it. I think they started talking about it last year that the Department of Justice was implementing a way for people to get their gun rights back in the federal system. And the reason why that's important, or the reason why I bring that up, and the reason why I'm making this video today is just because if this comes into effect and if it is real, it's going to be a really good new law. My name is Darren Woodfork, and I'm an attorney in Scottsdale, Arizona. And at my firm, we practice a little bit of criminal defense work. We restore gun rights here. We seal old cases here, and I also do personal injury work here. But today I'm going to be talking about the new federal proposal to restore gun rights for American citizens. And I'm going to see here, and the reason why is because in the state system, well, let me back up. In the federal system, anyway, there's never been a way to restore your gun rights. There's never been a statute that you could file a motion and have the judge have a hearing and grant your rights back. It's never been like that. And so now, if this is coming into effect, it's going to be really good. It'll be a way for you to do it. And so basically the how it would work, or how the it would affect like federal or state cases, I should say, is that there's been a long history of some type of state cases that even if you got your gun rights back on a state case, it wouldn't apply to the federal registry. And so if it didn't apply to the federal registry, then you wouldn't be able to purchase a gun because all gun shops will check the federal registry. But so like cases like domestic violence, those are the most popular cases that there was a ban on the federal system of getting your gun rights back. And so those are state cases that were prohibited by federal law. Well, this new law, the 925C law, that's going to also it'll apply to those state cases, but it'll also apply to strictly federal cases. And that's really important because the federal laws, I mean, the federal laws, they've never had a way to expunge records. They've never had an expungement law in the federal system. They never had a way to get your gun rights back in the federal system. I know that there's been rumors about that for years, but it never happened. There's never a way. And so, if this comes into effect, it's going to be really good. Now, it hasn't been, it, as I record this in April of 2026, it has not came to effect. I don't know of anybody who's had actual resolution of their motions after they filed them, but as an attorney here for 26 years filing these motions, my question and what I'm not quite clear on is who you're going to file the motion with and who is going to abide by it. And what I mean by that is if this is a Department of Justice regulation saying that they're putting in a system for people to file to get their gun rights back, they put all these requirements of what kind of cases qualify, how long you have to wait, all these different requirements that the Department of Justice puts into the requirements for this new statute, whatever. And again, my confusion, or my what I'm skeptical about, I should say, is that the DOJ is not the federal courts. And so, yeah, I mean, obviously, you know that there's separation of powers in this country. The DOJ is under the executive branch of the government. The courts is under the judiciary. And so it's unclear how the Department of Justice regulations is going to affect the federal courts. And so, again, what I'm thinking is, and it may be completely, it may be completely worked out or whatever, but I don't understand how a person could go into federal court, be convicted of an immigration charge or a banking charge or some crime on federal lands and get convicted of a federal crime, how can the Department of Justice over in the executive branch tell this judge that he has to restore the person's rights who was convicted of the immigration banking case or federal land case? So I'm not sure how the DOJ is going to put in a statute or put in a process for you to get your gun rights back, and the federal judges are going to abide by it because again, it's two different branches of government. But if it does, then that's great. That's great that this is implemented, and it might be a situation where, we have in some state laws, where you have, even if it is a technical violation of law, if the police side of it, the police branch, the FBI, the police, whatever, if they decide, or the prosecutor's office, they say they're not going to prosecute, then in effect, it's not illegal because the prosecutor is saying they're not going to prosecute. But again, I'm not sure if that's what this is about because again, we're really talking about two different branches of government, two different branches of government here. I just can't imagine how, one of the judges down here sitting on the Ninth Circuit is going to abide by a completely different branch of government saying that they have to restore somebody's gun rights who they put into prison for 60 months back in the day for money laundering. And so, but again, if it happens, great. And then kind of like I said, why am I still sharing it? But I'll stop sharing these are my notes for basically when I just keep kind of track. But nevertheless, so the the forum of where you would file the motion to get your gun rights back in the federal system would be the DOJ. And so I'm wondering if you would have the same type of proof or exhibits or material, if you have to give them the DOJ, like your good character letters and all that stuff, like you would have to do with a judge in your like in a state case. Like in a state case, if we're filing a motion to get my client's gun rights back, we file the motion, we file good character letters, we file any type of licensing, we file all that stuff, along with our motion to the judge. We're saying, Judge, we know you put this guy in prison 20 years ago. Now will you give him his gun rights back? Well, if this is a new law in the federal system, again, I'm not sure who you're submitting all that paperwork to because it doesn't sound like you're submitting it to the federal judge. You're sending it to the Department of Justice, which is a law enforcement branch of the executive branch. But again, maybe that'll all be figured out. Now, one of the things, and I'll finish with this. What worries me, I guess, is this new federal way to get your gun rights back is one of those the old rumors that we've always heard as criminal defense lawyers. From 20 years ago, they would talk about, oh yeah, just next year there's going to be a federal law restoring your gun rights. They've been talking about this for as long as I've been practicing law. It reminds me of like also when there was always a rumor in the jails where they said you're going to get paroled after 60% of your time, and that was always next year, next year, next year, next year, and it never happened. So I hope this new federal law is not a similar type of rumor. But I'll keep you posted. Like I said, if I hear anything, if I hear about any lawyers who filed this motion, and again, got the result, because again, a lawyer can, file all the motions that they want. They can send it to the Department of Justice all they want. But like I said, until somebody has gotten a ruling, until somebody's went in to try to purchase a gun, you just don't know if it works. And so that's what I would be hesitant of. But anyways, hope that helps you. Again, I'm recording this in April of 2026, so maybe we'll get some answers here pretty shortly. but I'll keep you posted if I hear anything. So please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Again, my name is Darren Woodfork. If you have any questions, if you want to get your gun rights back here in Arizona, or you want to seal an old case here in Arizona, please get in touch. I'll have all my information in the description. You can reach me at my email, which is Darren W. That's DERRONW at msn.com. And I'd be more than happy to answer any questions for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.